Welcome, everyone, back to another episode covering The Last of Us. Today, we're going to be discussing episode 3. I am your host, Nadia of Horror with Nads. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you're in the chat or on replay, share the stream as well. Every little bit helps. I still have a goal set right now. If I hit 1K subs soon, I will go see Bloodlines Final Destination, but caveat, in 4DX. I'll even make it worse. So on top of that, we have two panelists that are running a little bit behind. So I'm going to bring on the others. We're going to just hang out for a little bit until the other two show up, and then we'll get into the episode. So get cozy, grab yourself a little drink, some snacks, and hang out with us tonight. So let me bring on Ryan and Paul. Yay!
Hey,
Hi,
guys.
Welcome.
What is going on?
I'm more excited to talk to you guys about just life and comics in this episode.
Aside from this episode, yeah. Because, anything is more exciting.
Oh, that's not fun. No, it really is. Actually, anything is more fun than this. I was late and gay last time, and this episode is not great. It's horrible.
This season's not great. I have not been sitting down every Sunday excited to see the next episode. I actually watched this yesterday because I didn't even care to get spoilers.
I was like, this is so boring. So I did like 30 minutes yesterday and 30 minutes today.
All right, before we get in it, let me say hi to the chat. Corey, as always, thank you for being here. First, Cinevere's Fish. Nadia, looking forward to a banger stream like always. I don't know if this is one, Fish. Maybe the finale. I was like, do I have time before the finale to put together like a clicker makeup design that I could wear? And I'm not even enthusiastic to do that for this show, like to put the effort into it. Not for my show, but for the Last of Us. Rachel, as always, good to have you here. Ryan saying hi to the chat, and I think Rio, evening, and then Blue, he is on his way. I know he just got out of Thunderbolts. Have either of you seen it yet?
No,
I have not.
No, I have not seen it
going
yet.
on Sunday, actually.
I'm actually looking forward to it. I'll be honest, real quick. It looks pretty good. However, I don't have a lot of high hopes.
Does it look good because you've been dealt shit for the last 5 to 10 years?
Yes.
Marvel movies?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, like, if this came out in the first 10 years, would we all be saying that it looks good?
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's so like I grew up reading comics, and like I basically stopped reading comics right around the time that Thunderbolts came out in like 97. And it's like, I mean, whatever this movie is, it's not from the comics at all. From what best I can tell, it's just a completely different team. And because, like, I don't know, I don't remember Winter Soldier being like a thing back when I read comic books, but whatever.
I have to hear TED Talks in my house about Taskmaster.
Well,
Taskmaster is one of my husband's favorite characters, and he's not listening. I literally have to hear like 3 hours of how the MCU messed this up, because it's like one of the first comics he will give people. He'll be like, "Oh, I really think you would dig this comic book," and hand over Taskmaster. And
I mean, Taskmaster in the Spider-Man video game for PS4 was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, just the MCU really screwed the pooch on that.
Yeah.
Well,
he is a master of combat that can mimic at the same time. So yes, Taskmaster was something that was literally, I don't know what they were doing. I don't get it. Well, no, I do. It was just something that was not good. And now we have the Thunderbolts. And quite frankly, we're gonna see where that goes, which I agree with everybody who is gonna say no. The movie looks fun. It looks fun. Is it though?
It was okay.
Okay. Well,
I'm seeing no spoilers, please. I'm seeing it Sunday. So no spoilers, please.
I'm not
What's up, Toxic?
Hey. Sorry, I'm late. I was literally just in Thunderbolts. Sorry about
You're
that.
fine.
You're good. We're still waiting on Blue. We figured we'll just chat a little bit since this episode is not.
Yeah,
that-
me and Blue actually went together, as a matter of fact.
Oh,
Did you guys
wow.
hold hands? Did you share
Okay.
popcorn?
We did. We kissed lovingly in all of the sad
Yes!
parts.
Yeah.
We held each other gently, and
cried into each other's arms.
yeah. He's,
Just so I don't have to Google it, how many post-credit scenes are there?
2.
Okay, got it.
Really?
Hey, Terrace. What's up? I think this is, I can't tell on the StreamYard part, but we will actually be getting rated in from the Doolies. So I was on there for their fan rant Thursdays. And we were
Yes.
talking a little bit about the Thunderbolts as well. So I am not hopeful that it's going to be a good movie, but I'm hopeful that I'll have a good time.
Yeah.
if you're in a good frame of mind, you might have a good time.
That's
Oh,
about
Blue-
it.
Yeah, Blue. Well, I was reading Blue's chat.
Oh, you can start it. No, we're gonna wait for you, Blue, because there is not much. I think he was like 5 minutes out or something.
Mhm.
Hi, Anthony. What's up?
I mean,
maybe I'm
without
delaying
spoiling,
it.
I mean, it's fun if you like these. It's gonna really depend on how much you like these characters, how much you enjoy the actors that play these characters, and how much you kind of don't care about the whole Avengers lore, and you're just kind of like, meh, I mean, if you're a huge MCU goonie and you just like everything has to be Avengers Endgame level stuff, then you're not going to have a good time, and you're not going to be happy. But if you're basically like, that's okay, it's not,
How about Ragnarok? Thor Ragnarok level of okay, I'm there.
I mean, that's hard to say because Thor Ragnarok was, it was such a piece of time where we took this like kind of serious character who showed hints of being funny, and then they turned into a complete comedy, and it shouldn't have worked, but it did.
Mhm.
So make of that what you will. 2017 was such a weird time,
Mhm.
and then it had that kind of foreshadowing at the very end of the film where, because Thor Ragnarok's basically like a comedy. And then it was such a flash in the pan,
But it was also serious. It was very, very
it did have
serious.
it had its serious moments, but I mean, you got to admit, it was more trying to be. And then
absolutely.
Thor: Love and Thunder really just like tried to recreate that.
It's too much.
Yeah,
Like how many times can Thor find himself?
Right. So
And they've ruined that character from the MCU too. He's the butt of the joke now. He will always be the butt of the joke. Since after the third movie, I think. Yeah. It was pretty serious the first two, even the third, and then he turned into the butt of the joke. I like Ragnarok. I think it's the same thing where I was not expecting a deep moving story, but I was expecting at least to have fun with it.
And it was fun.
Yeah. But even Endgame, to me, looking back on it, it was fun, but there's so many plot holes in them. It is just, yeah. Oh, no.
I still don't get how the time travel works in that movie.
Nobody does. They don't.
It doesn't.
Even at Marvel Studios, they don't even know how their multiverse works. They don't know how their time travel works. They don't know how any of it works. Okay.
I've literally only read, seen, heard, whatever, absorbed one IP where time travel works, and it's like an obscure Dean Koontz novel. It's like the only one.
Is it Primer?
No, it's Lightning.
Oh, okay. I gotta watch that. I don't know if anybody hasn't seen Primer. That's probably like the best depiction of time travel I've ever seen. And
Also,
it's like super twisty.
Also, I guess it's kind of shadow version of itself of Lightning which is Langoliers by Stephen King.
Yes.
That movie creeped me out as a kid when I saw it. Didn't even know what I was walking into for that one.
Yeah.
If I was head of Marvel, what I would do.
What would you do? What would you do, Nadia, head of Marvel?
I would have taken this year and next year off.
Sure.
Yeah. I would have put time and effort into a banger of a final of a Fantastic Four movie. Not what we're getting.
Uh-huh.
Reset everything, and then we lead into the X-Men. So we we no longer use anybody from the past. We don't bring anybody back just to jingle into your face and stuff.
Nostalgia bait.
We honor the past. We start refreshed, and we go into a new era with the X-Men and a good Fantastic Four movie. That is not what we're going to get with this.
No, it's gonna be straight track. Like this, like Thunderbolts is really the best we're gonna get. Like everything else is gonna collapse under its own weight. Thunderbolts is okay because it's like, I've heard it being referred to as like Marvel Suicide Squad, and that's pretty much what it is. The second, the reboot one, not that horrible first one that they did. Not the one that was supposed to be dark and then wasn't, David Ayer one. Which I do have a soft spot for, but it stopped trying to be, this dark, brooding, movie, and then it turned into like they tried to, play off of Guardians of the Galaxy and like have all this cool music and stuff in it and have all these quirky characters. Like that was a mistake. This one, they do it a little bit better, I will say, but with a movie that's almost 2.5 hours long. It just feels like, it just drags. And it's one of those things where you're just like, man, I am like, let's go. Let's get into something. The people who do the stuff. Yeah, go ahead. I
need to reevaluate if I want to see this in 4DX for 2.5 hours.
No, don't do that. Yeah. I accidentally bought the ticket for the 3D and I was, It was bad 3D. It was really bad 3D.
Well, 4DX moves your seats around. It's like watching a movie on a roller coaster. And they spray things in your face. They I saw Twisters in it and Deadpool and Wolverine, and it was pretty good for both of them. So like with Deadpool and Wolverine, if the camera like panned a certain way, your seat like moved with it.
No, don't
for
do that.
2.5 hours.
No, don't do that. You'll be sick by the end of it. No, don't do that.
I'll say this: Twisters. Are you serious? Like gross. Yeah, that there's only one Twister movie. One.
Oh, I actually like Twisters, but I saw it in 4DX, and I think that is a movie to see in 4DX because of the tornadoes.
If you're gonna immerse yourself that way, you got to be really picky. Like me, I saw the re-release of Showgirls in 4DX, and so you could actually smell the stripper sweat.
I'm like, wait, what?
I was like, hold on now.
I'm sorry.
Blue, stop chatting and get your ass in here. All I see is Blue. This was more comedic. Don't do 40X. Nadia, 40X is good for John Wick, not Thunder. Dude.
Don't see Showgirls and 40X.
Oh yeah, don't. Like I literally got herpes after that. Like it was like literally like I had to go to the doctor the next day.
They were handing them out.
They were just Valtrex, at the door.
Hey, I think Showgirls is actually a pretty good movie for what it is.
I do too.
Did you see Andorra? I think it's Andorra, the Oscar-winning movie from this past year.
Anora, yeah.
Anora.
I didn't see that.
Anora's just a rip-off of Showgirls, just with no class, I think.
Kinda.
In my opinion.
Yeah, kinda. Like it's. I guess Anora's kind of like the pretty
Gen Z
woman,
Showgirls.
Gen Z pretty woman, basically. For the OnlyFans generation. So
I watched that movie and I go, really? This is what won the Oscars?
Oh yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible for that reason. But I mean, who cares? The Oscars are a joke, right? I mean, we all know that.
Irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best movies over the past few years haven't even been nominated.
Yep. And didn't it just came out that they're not required to, they previously were not required to watch all the movies, and now they are required to. And then it came out again that's one of them found a loophole where he could just play the movies and just put it on mute and not have to actually watch it, so that he would just get the watching credit for it.
Aside from that,
I need that kind of job. I need that level of not doing a fucking
incompetence.
thing.
Yeah. The other thing, I think they shot it for $6 million, but they spent something like $24 million on like marketing and like the politics of. Well, no, to get it to win.
Oh,
so they basically like 3x their budget to basically bribe people for the Oscar.
Gotcha. Okay, I gotcha.
Which is like just bonkers.
No, I mean it's a good movie. If you like Uncut Gems, you'll like Honora. 'cause
I
it's
hated
got that-
Uncut Gems.
Oh, well, see, then that's
Mm.
there you go. Then
Yep.
it has that
I
kind
wouldn't-
of. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
There's a movie from the 90s called Law of Gravity, where the bad guy from The Mask is in it, and it's kind of like that, where it's like everybody's talking really fast and there's like a lot going on. There he is, fresh out of the theater.
No, you're
buddy.
right though. I'll listen to chat. Like Toxic said, biggest not supposed to now. Some films are just too long. This film was way too long. If
Way too long.
They would have shaved a good half hour. I probably would have liked it more, but that's all
Yeah.
I'm gonna say about it. I want
Facts. Yeah,
Okay.
facts.
I still want to see it for my Tuesday show because
Oh yeah,
that-
go
it's in-
see it.
It's,
No, go
it's in
see
my
it.
head that it's a horror movie.
even
Somehow I will find
even
horror
my kids,
aspects
my kids
of it.
my kids like, Dad, I didn't hate it, and we actually had a packed theater. People were laughing more than you may think. And Jeremy Johns actually gave this film pretty good praise. It is becoming a trope to hate everything, and I would say some positive things about it, but I won't spoil it. But I did
But
not
don't see it
hate
in 40x. Don't
No,
see it in 40X.
No,
yeah,
no,
no.
yeah.
Okay.
Don't even buy any snacks or nothing. Like me, I just wait until the theater lets out, and then I just grab the popcorn, the refillable one out of the trash, and I just wipe it out with a paper towel, and that's basically it. 'Cause I mean, what?
Dude, are you in the UK? Is that why?
No, I just
People don't wash their hands. Toxic. I wouldn't
Listen,
even wipe
You
it
think
down
the Lord of
with-
Toxicity is worried about a little bit of germs? silly Nadia.
You know what I do? What Chris and I do is right next to our AMC is revolving sushi. So we will go early, sit down, because you don't have to wait anybody. You grab the plates, you eat, and then pay for it, and then we go see the movie.
Yeah.
So we don't have popcorn. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So like, so I'm disgusting for taking buckets out of the trash, but raw fish is totally chill.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen people in movie theaters. They don't wash their hands. They don't.
Listen,
They have no shame either. Kids, I don't know if you remember, I tweeted out some lady had her dirty ass Crocs on somebody's like on the table where they put the food, like where you put like your popcorn, your
Well, I got a car to fix, so I mean, I got every
I will
nickel
say,
counts.
I will give you credit though. That's pretty genius though to me. I would, you know what I would do if I was to do that?
would
I
you
would
do?
bring like just a little bag that you can put inside of it and
Okay.
get the popcorn filled in it.
Now that's
so it doesn't touch the
interesting, but they
inside.
would. I don't think that they would do that. I think if you hand them that and say I want a refill, I think they'd be like, "Why is this bag in here?" So they'd
that's
probably
fair.
do that. Yeah, just wipe it out with a paper towel. It's not that big a deal. It's the drinks that are the questionable thing. You got to get a new straw and stuff like that, and kind of.
So I have a solution to this. My movie theater has a supermarket like attached to the same building.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So I have brought in sushi, paninis, like you name it, beers.
You're
like,
a monster.
Yeah, but you're still spending.
all.
Toxic is not spending any money.
Oh,
Yeah,
on
okay,
I'm
it.
not
true,
saying I didn't
true,
even
true.
buy the. I don't even buy the ticket because when I walk up to the people that tear the tickets and I ask them some inane question about when the movie's going to be over because my kids are in another theater and that just distracts them, and then I go, oh, okay, and then because no one wants to be bothered, so you just asking some dumbass questions. Yeah, I mean,
Now they're gonna watch my stream and they're gonna be after you. They're just like, oh, that's the dude.
I'll come up with another way. I'm a private investigator. I know all the tricks. So anyway, so this episode sucked, huh, Nadia?
I want to say though, Paul, you're right. I do the same thing. I have a purse because a girl. I have a purse that has a layer on top that I could hide food in it, and then put the layer so it looks like there's nothing in there.
Nice.
Brilliant.
We'll bring like Taco Bell, whatever.
Oh my
in there
God.
for it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I just throw a backpack on.
Oh,
like-
well, they check them here with Vegas
Oh, really?
and kids and stuff. So no, he looks at my purse and there's nothing in there. So I pull out the part and then there's tacos underneath.
Nice.
Oh. All right, Last of Us season 3. Season 3.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Let's flush
I
this-
know.
Let's flush this turd.
We do not have to be on for 2 hours. Just want to let you guys know
No,
we do not have to talk this out for 2 hours.
No.
So initial thoughts, or do you want me to read the synopsis first?
Yeah, let's go for that.
Okay, so episode 3, The Path, focuses on emotional and physical aftermath of Joel's brutal murder by Abby and the infected attack on Jackson. The episode slows down the pace to explore grief, recovery, and the seeds of vengeance. Ellie, Tommy, Dina, Jesse
Yeah.
navigate the fractured Jackson community as Ellie resolves to pursue Joe's killers, setting the stage for a dangerous journey to Seattle. The episode introduces new threats, including it's a Seraphites?
Seraphites.
Seraphites.
Oh, I thought that was just
And
a wolf.
empathize, and they're like a religious like cult. I was watching
Yeah.
a video on them. Are they that? Anyway, I have questions. Empathizing Ellie's emotional turmoil as she grapples with loss and her desire for revenge. Okay, I want Nadia for 2 hours. Sin, get in line.
I was like, dude, you might have to pay for that one, or
Yeah.
maybe actually marry her, but her husband might have a problem with that.
Yeah. Ryan, initial thoughts on this episode? And we can
Okay,
talk spoilers, it's fine too.
So I actually initially I was actually slightly pulled in, right? But then it just got stale. It was something that I don't think that the show knows how to grapple with this like the games did. And that was one of my problems with the first season. And this show, and of course, Bella Ramsey, I'll give her credit, she stepped it up. But it was 6.5 out of 10. Wasn't great. I just didn't care. I was actually playing. No, this is not a joke. I was actually playing halfway through the episode, StarCraft Brood War, on my novel computer. Literally right in a novel computer, while watching it, because I was like, okay, I got bored. It just fell flat. I didn't understand it. And this should have been a slam dunk. Joel's dead, right? The whole entire thing with the council, it was stupid. And it was like, I don't know. That's just me. So
Yeah, I agree with you. I think I agree. I think it opened pretty strong and then it fell flat for me. And I think we were just like the council part, it was fluffed in. But again, I've never played the game, so I'm curious to see. Part of it felt shot for shot in certain areas, looking like a video game. So I'm curious to see if that's where, if it's true to the video game. Anyway, I'm rambling. Paul, what's going on? What you thought?
So I'm definitely gonna piggyback off one word that Ryan just said, flat. Right. So I also didn't play the second game. I played the first one, so I have no idea. So like now I'm trying to go into it fair and just judge it like as a TV show. But my major problem, and I know Ryan just said that Bella Ramsey stepped it up. I'm sorry, like the speech to the council, like zero emotion. Like there was like, learn to act. The so-called scream in the hospital, fake. Her like going through the house and like crying. I think they were just like spraying water on her. I don't think there was like real tears.
Damn.
Like she just, I'm not gonna judge her looks because like whatever, that's not something you can change. But her acting ability is just, it's just horrendous. Like if she knocked it out of the ballpark in a similar way to like Philip Seymour Hoffman or Anthony Hopkins or whatever, fine, great. You know, you put in the work. It fell so flat because of her performance. As far as like the other stuff, like I found that whole cult thing pretty weird. And I do have like kind of questions. It drew me in that like I want to know who the new factions are. But when it comes to factions, I think Fallout does it better. But again, it's not apples to apples comparison. But I do like I legitimately want to know who these wolves are, what the Abbey connection is, who this cult is. Like that sort of drew me in, even though it was like very slow paced and just like and mostly flat. I am curious about those new factions.
Well, she also got to Seattle in like a sneeze. She went like,
Right.
and like she was there. I'm like, I was like,
She
wait,
fast
what?
traveled.
I'm like, come on, man. Like, let's not do this. Let's not do the Game of Thrones season 8, season 9 crap. It's stupid. Stop. There's a journey along the way, and you took it and you yanked it out.
Yeah. Rings of Power did the same thing.
Yeah, they
Ugh.
did.
People,
Yeah, they
people
did.
were like teleporting, throughout Middle Earth.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about making fun of her appearance because if Hook is in the chat, I'm sure he's going to be laying some bangers down
Well,
if he's there.
I prefer to be kind.
I am too. I get it. Everybody makes fun of her. At some point, it's like
It's too much.
that somebody could look like that and still have acting abilities.
Right.
And I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but there have been actors in the past, I'm sure.
I mean, Steve
And-
Buscemi. looks
Damn,
like
I was
he's
just
Here we
gonna
go.
say Steve Buscemi. That's crazy.
Yeah,
He's a
I
great
was just
actor,
saying, like,
though.
there's people who can act who are not appealing to look at sometimes, and the whole making fun of her appearance and stuff, I get it. It's funny and stuff, but she just can't act, and I worry that she's just gonna look at it and just not take the criticism serious. So, like, if you're making fun of her appearance, but then you say something about her acting, she's just gonna
Exactly.
focus on her appearance for it.
Right.
So,
Right. 'Cause
instead of just
people are
trying to
like
improve.
people are genuinely self-conscious.
yeah. Toxic. Initial thoughts.
I hate, I've been the big defender of the show since season 1, and I did express my concerns on the last show where I said, what's going to happen now that we have to depend on Bella Ramsey's questionable acting ability in this, because she's, thank God they didn't have Caitlin Deaver in this episode to really outshine her more than she already does, because it was already bad enough, and she just comes off as this. Some of it's the writing, but some of it's the way that she plays it. Like, I don't know if someone told her, like, hey, when you read your speech, read it like you've this is the first time you've ever read aloud in front of an audience before. But like, it was like, man, I was cringing the whole time that she was talking. And this whole thing where the one dude, Seth, that made this slick comment on New Year's Eve and Joel pushed him, he's trying to be like cool with you. Like, dude, just swallow your fucking pride and just shake his hand instead of acting like a little turd.
I agree.
Like, that was, this episode was so, and I don't know anything about the game. So this minimalist cult that's like walking down, in a parade formation down the open trail. Like, I don't know what any of that's about. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is this just a throwaway thing that only somebody from the game is going to get? I kind of felt that way. And I don't care about these people. It's silly. Like, what, I don't know what's going on with that. They don't explain it. I don't need everything like completely holding my hand, but Dina and the girl that plays her, she's cute, she's fun, but I get the little Dora the Explorer backpack references. That was cute, but other than that, like, these Drinker said this today on Open Bar, like, they act like they're on this fucking camping trip instead of an assassination mission to go take out a bunch of people in hostile territory. Right. Like, dude, you girls are not going on like vacation. Even if they weren't doing that, even if there wasn't infected and clickers and stuff, you're still like traveling two tiny women alone in the woods and shit. It's still scary, and they're playing truth or dare in the tent and stuff. It's just like, dude, what? I don't get it. If this is how the rest of the season's going to be, it's going to be a rough slog. I don't know what has to happen here, whether it's, they're going to have to lean heavily on Caitlin Deaver, or, I don't know. I don't know how the writing's going to keep up with it. And yeah, like my worst fears have come true, which is, Bella Ramsey, she sucks. I'm not even going to make fun of her. That's an easy dunk to dunk on her for her potato face looks. Yeah. But like, she sucks. She's not a good actress. Like, everyone was like, oh, see how the only thing that she can do is scream and cry. But anybody can do that.
But she can't even do it well. I'm sorry, but she didn't do it well.
All right, fair enough. That's fair.
Yeah.
I don't have an argument for that. But no, it's really, dude, it was a struggle to get through it. Like, I was just sitting there like, man, it was a struggle to come up with anything to say for your show, Nadia, because it's like, dude, what can I say except for this just sucks and it's boring and I don't like it. You know,
I feel we're
no-
gonna be cruising through this episode pretty fast.
I
Once
hear
can
you.
get up.
I hear
Yeah.
you.
I agree, and one of the reasons I do agree is that there's no monsters, there's nothing. Like
There's no threats in this episode whatsoever to the two of them, and I
Zero.
get it. They wanted to have an aftermath episode to be impactful of the loss of Joel,
Yeah.
and I completely understand that, but it was not impactful. I mean,
No.
I was more moved by Tommy and having to take care of his brother's body than Ellie like screaming, and then the scene at the house and stuff.
Boss, I was more moved by Seth standing up for it and like saying, "Hey, if somebody attacks the town, we got to attack them." He was the most impactful character in the entire show. Like, I don't care about her little dropping coffee beans on his grave. Like, am I supposed to feel something for this? Because I don't.
I mean, I don't even remember the reference, coffee beans.
Because in season 1 he introduced they come across some coffee at the at the gay dude's house, and he's like, "Oh wow, I haven't had coffee in so long." She tries to drink it and it's piss, and she's like, "I can, how can you like this?" And
that's right.
I mean, a simple flashback, a minimal,
with Pedro
10
Pascal.
seconds would have been a flashback. Nothing. I literally started after watching this crap. I started The Walking Dead season 1, episode 1, and I was like, "This is already better. It has better character development," and they say nothing barely in the first episode. I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, it doesn't make sense. It needs
the time traveling thing is just, it's off, and they would have been better if had an episode where they were threatened by something on their path. Like, well, if you want to have because this felt very much a filler episode, even though again it's supposed to be an episode grieving Joel and getting things into motion. And what we have 4 episodes left is 7-episode season, so they are definitely going to lead this into a season 3.
And that's the thing. I don't think we're going to get a season 3. I really, unless they've already finished it some kind of way. Like, I don't think.
Agreed.
I really don't think they can.
And they want a 4. They want to go for 4. That's why I thought that they wouldn't do the Joel thing. They wouldn't do the whole entire golf club thing.
I knew they were going to do that. No, there was no way. There was no way that what's his name that wrote the
Neil Druckmann.
Neil Druckmann was going to kill his darlings like that. No, he was always going to do that. I thought they might stretch it out some.
By the way, the season 3 was renewed on April 9th, so we will be getting a season.
Of course,
they've already done too much money into this.
I mean, it's gonna be basically season 2 will be 2 parts.
Yeah,
that's essentially what's going to be.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Also, at the same time, sorry. Go ahead, Blue.
Initial
just well, you guys know it. I'm sure I'm checking an episode right now on HBO Max. 54 minutes, and the biggest thing I was feeling watching this is padding.
Yes.
I mean, and I'm not even the best editor by any means, but I guarantee this episode, I could download this into my iMovie. I could shave this down to easily a half hour and still struggle for shit.
I'm so glad you just said that, because a lot of the times I just kept I get my episodes by questionable means. So when I'm playing it in a VLC player, I just
1.5 or
no. So I just like through some of the slow scenes, I just hit the arrow because I'm like, nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Let's fast forward 15 seconds.
Yeah, you're fast forwarding the whole thing then, really.
And as toxic everybody said, the problem this is even me playing the game is that right now the issue is you have maybe like 5 or 6 more hours of game footage, and you want to stretch this into now a third season. Wow, they're gonna have to like really pad the fuck. Like, well, episode 2, for example, the entire while I did like it visually, the entire zombie big battle sequence, that was a 15-minute sequence to pad the runtime because that never happened in the game. Game lore, you've got maybe 5 more hours in there, and you want to fucking pad this into, was it 5 more episodes this season and then a season 3?
I think season 2 Last of Us, how many episodes?
They're saying 8,
right? 7.
Okay, yeah. So we have basically
4 more.
4 more, and then entire third season, and you have maybe
there's gonna be a lot of padding with not a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll literally be done with this by the end of the month.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think that they might do is if they upend the entire structure of the show and like to somehow turn Abby into the main character. Like, that's the only way. And I just don't think anyone's ready to. I mean, they did kind of sort of pull that off in The Walking Dead, spoiler alert for The Walking Dead from 10 years ago, but I mean, they kind of make Negan a main character and a
They
protagonist.
do, but
but-
it was also something that was massively pushed against. I'm not
No, it was. No, it was.
But the thing is, though, is that Abby, of course, they did. I'm gonna say they did pump her down, and pump is the keyword. But nobody wants to see the journey of Abby. And if I have to say this in any way, shape, or form, we want to see, we want to see Abby get what she deserves. We didn't get to see that in the fucking game. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're sticking this closely to the game lore, which they pretty much have done so far, then what we have coming is an anticlimactic, lackluster confrontation between two people that, one, we don't give a shit about because she can't act, and two, the other one did something so unforgivable that we can't really let it go. So where do we go from here?
I agree.
Then we'll get a season 2, and quite frankly, everybody's gonna go. I don't care. So.
Season 3, yeah. I think I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if this is received warm after the season.
I
season
wonder.
finale for this.
I wonder what the Nielsen ratings would be between season 1 and season 2.
Somebody on Twitter did share the ratings for this episode. They're still
meaning the viewership numbers.
Yeah. Well, according to people, they're saying this episode 3 has actually had more viewers than episode 2. So,
well, yeah, because everybody wants to see the aftermath of what happened post Cole's death. I mean, it's more of a curiosity, to be honest. To see how they were going to play it.
I mean,
and
I
also
guess
everybody expecting Bella to fail. I mean, she's got to. She literally has to carry the show, and even this episode, there's still competent actors around her, and now she's going to be off on her own. She's going to have to carry the show, and I don't think she can do it after this episode. I don't think she could do it.
I don't think the Dina girl can do it for her either.
What's up, Doolies? What's up?
Yeah, I've been a big defender of Dina and the actress that plays her up to this point, but they're really, they're really nerfing her, and it just seems like she's about to do something, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna give you a shot and knock you out," and it's like, and then and we're supposed to believe that she has this hot Asian boyfriend, but she's just gonna be head over heels for Mrs. Potato Head. Come on now, you're asking me to suspend too much disbelief with this show. So, and again, listen, everybody knows this. Everybody, Nadia knows this. Blue Collar knows this. Everybody knows I don't like dunking on shows. I like to like stuff. That's my thing. Believe it or not, I like liking things, and I've seen a lot of things recently that I like, and I liked season 1, but this is just I did say this in our last stream. I was like, I don't see Bella Ramsey carrying the show. Not only is she written poorly, but she doesn't elevate the material because she just acts in this kind of monotone, just deep stare off into space.
She doesn't know how to emote.
She cannot emote. Thank you. That's what I was looking for with that. Yeah, it's just bad. And the other thing too is it's the premise of the show is such a serious thing, and it's got these big ideas and these big themes, and then you have competent actors and actresses. I mean, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, but she's got to go toe to toe with Caitlin Dever. Caitlin Dever ain't no slouch, man. If that's your antagonist, you really got to bring it. So, and she is not bringing it. If it's being brought in, she has yet to bring it to the Broughton, because it's not being brought in yet. And it's I think it got put on the wrong luggage carousel, and I'm mixing a lot of metaphors here, but you all know what I'm talking about. She's just,
I agree.
Sorry, Cinevere's Fish. This comment, I bought the first season of The Walking Dead, finished it, and was like, that's it. I threw it in the trash. It's the first time I've seen the season so short. Read the comics and only read them up to a certain point, I believe, because afterwards they get kind of repetitive and basically the same story beats, but just changing out the villains. But I would say up until the governor is pretty good. So I would just read the comics if I were you, if that's your thing. Go ahead, Ryan.
So adding to that, by the way, I think the moment literally that they're talking about for The Walking Dead, and this has nothing to do with The Last of Us, when Rick has to let's just say that a certain young girl comes out of the barn and he has to do what he has to do. That is a powerful moment. This has none of that. The Last of Us has none of that. Not even in season 1. It's awful. And I was actually someone who was like going, okay, season 1, all right, it was pretty good. I was entertained, and that was all I really got out of that one. But this is bad. It's
I think my biggest complaint with this show, and it's consistent in this problem, is that it's very lopsided. They'll have good writing, and then they'll have the good writing go to a bad actor, or they'll have a good actor and give them some shitty dialogue or a shitty scene, or they'll have a good plot point and then it gets hobbled by some, you know, unbelievable plot contrivance. So it's just like, it's so very uneven and inconsistent. And, you know, I mean, when you have a video game, I think that you can allow certain things because, you know, you have all that endless gameplay and stuff like that. But I mean, I think the consensus is that the second game is not as good, and the gameplay is also the gameplay is also very uneven because you have to play as Abby, and you're like, I don't want to play as Abby, you know. I mean, so.
To be fair, to be honest, when I first initially thought of us covering season 2, I thought we were going to be competing amongst other people who would be covering season 2. Nobody's covering this. They might do one-off short review videos, but there's nobody covering this. And by the way, I know this is Andy. Would there perchance be a scientific reason Bella Ramsey cannot emote? I know this is Andy.
I mean, it's just like innate talent or not willingness to learn how to act, like i.e. take an acting class. I mean, they have like when you're learning to act, I know they call it like elocution, to like know how to move your face. She clearly hasn't done that.
But here's the thing. She was a fan favorite from Game of Thrones. Love it or hate it the last couple of seasons. And I am in the camp of what the shit was this. She was a fan favorite. So that is why she got this role. People,
Which is weird.
It was like, yeah, instead of actually casting somebody who looks like the character.
I think they probably felt that her fan favoriteness in this in another HBO IP, I think they thought that would be that. And I think they kind of thought, you know, hey, you know, a lot of child actors, they go on to become, you know, better actors, and especially the females. You know, I've seen the you know, Sabrina Carpenter and
Jodie Foster.
Christina Ricci. A lot of these people, you know, were child actresses as little kids, and they learned their trade. But I think Bella Ramsey really drank the Hollywood Kool-Aid and just said, I'm on the spectrum, so just take me as I am because I'm perfect the way I am, and I don't need to change and stuff like that. You know, Caitlin Dever was a child actor. She was like 8 or 9, and she was in like NCIS and Justified and stuff like that. Last Man Standing. She had to learn all of that stuff. You look at her stuff, and it's like she had to learn her trade till like she's doing sci-fi horror movies where she only says like 3 lines of dialogue, and she's able to carry the entire film. So it's just that she's woefully inadequate to be carrying this show. And even if they do put Pedro Pascal flashbacks in it, which I'm sure they will, even if they do that, and even if it does,
I don't think they will actually.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
It was announced that before the show released that like the episode's not the last you'll see of him. So I think we are going to get flashbacks at some point throughout this season.
Yeah, and I think that's 100% what they're going to do, because quite frankly, look, in the marketing of the Last of Us Part 2 game, they had to put literally Joel in a role of, you know, something when he was not there. And I think that I think at the same time in the show, they're like going, okay, well, we had to lie to put Joel in, you know, in parts of the game that where he was not there, and they're going to do the same thing for Pedro Pascal. He's fine, but the problem is though is that I don't think that I don't think that literally the girl who is Ellie, Bella Ramsey cannot carry the show. I don't see it.
I don't think she'd be able to carry a sitcom.
No. Agreed.
I wouldn't trust her to carry my groceries to my car. I don't think.
If it was Caitlin, I would actually watch that because Caitlin would actually be able to hold the show better than Bella Ramsey.
Sure.
Yeah. One other child actor that I just thought of that like wasn't particularly that great looking, but like really worked on her craft was Kiernan Shipka. She played Sally on Mad Men. And
Yeah.
then,
Oh,
Sabrina
yeah.
the Teenage Witch.
And
Yeah.
and
I mean,
she's into
I-
like a lot of horror movies and stuff.
as a
Yeah.
child, she was pretty good. But I think like January Jones took her under her wing, like off screen, and like taught her the ropes of like act. I mean, January Jones isn't like the world's best actress. She's just like a good looking version of Bella Ramsey. But I think Kiernan Shipka, like she took all the lessons and like actually became a decent actress as an
Yeah,
adult.
she's good. She's good.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
we are
that. Go ahead.
46 minutes into the show and we haven't even brought up the episode for it. We're just
Right.
I
been
mean,
shitting
we
on Bella
kinda-
Ramsey's acting.
Yeah,
We
Yeah,
kind of
did.
did though
Um,
because
The episode sucks.
I will
I
say
mean-
I wrote down 6 key moments through the episode,
Okay.
surprisingly.
Bring it
So
on.
the initial moment is Tommy mourning in the morgue that we see here.
Okay.
I think this is better acting than what I've seen from Bella this entire episode. And this is just a
Agreed.
short moment of
Yep.
you could actually feel his pain for his brother, the grief that he's having, not even for just his brother, but for the town.
And I
How
actually
many-
really like the actor.
I do
Like,
too.
he does a great job.
I do too. I think it's great. And I love the fact that they used this, like, I don't know, yellow. Usually, normally I don't like this when movies, but it just
Filters?
it separates it a little bit
Yeah.
from the moment. And I thought this was very well done, very well shot. We get to that. The other key moment is Ellie's hospital breakdown.
Hmm.
That we
Yeah,
get,
I'm sorry. I don't buy it.
There.
I don't buy it.
where she sees. I mean, I get it. She's having flashbacks of.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
look, perfect. So I mean, it just like I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Like she's not even crying. I'm sorry. No.
Well,
You don't?
she looks like she's trying to have a about PTSD, which
Right.
I do understand. At the same time, though,
That's not what PTSD looks like.
it
Right.
just carries over way too long.
Mhm.
And I don't.
It's like they're telling us that's what we're supposed to feel. They're telling us.
Well,
Look,
yeah.
she screamed and she's upset. So that's her dealing with. And then they quick cut to her speaking to, I don't know, therapist, doctor, I don't know what the deal is. And then just
I have that. I have
Yeah.
that as a moment.
Yeah.
Yep, I got it. Blue, I haven't heard much from you.
No, I'm just listening because I mean, the only thing so far I did like from Gabriel Luna playing Tommy, I did like the scene just with Joel's body, just like seeing what he's going through, and he's acting and he's showing very good emotion and just especially with the watch because it doesn't pay off, but that was the watch that Joel's daughter Sarah gave him, and just seeing like how much Joel went through with the first game, which is why people also felt like the way he died was kind of disrespectful because everything Joel experienced, but I did like Tommy saying, "Hey, just go with Sarah or give my love to Sarah." Look it up.
Oh yeah, that hit me too. That
Yeah.
hit me more. I felt it in my heart too when he was like, give Sarah my love.
Yes.
On his,
Sarah.
oh,
Yeah.
oh, that hit. Yeah, that
Yeah.
hit pretty. And that was like one of the few. I mean, this episode is so fluffed up. So Ellie, psychic evaluation with Gail. So what happens here is that we fast forward after this moment 3 months later. Ellie has been in the
Well,
hospital the entire time recovering.
It was 3 months.
3
I didn't
months,
even catch
job.
that.
Yeah,
I
it did
did
take
not
3
even
months
catch
later.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she had an extended stay and then she had a mandatory psych evaluation with Gail on her way
Yeah.
out, where she lies pretty much, which is so
Same.
here's my thing. This opening scene with her crying and this hit me. I was like, okay. I was like hopeful. Maybe this will work. Maybe she will be able to hold this. Maybe we'll be able to see her grief. And the moment she sits down to talk to Gail and she's got this like uppity, like, I know
Very
everything.
snarky.
I have
Yep.
Yeah, I've got, I'm hard. I don't need anybody's, I can defend myself, take care of myself kind of attitude. Completely lost me.
Mary
Completely lost
Stu.
me. it doesn't help with the vulnerability that we're all supposed to expect that she has throughout this and the visit to Joel.
Yeah.
If it's countered with this, like, I know what to do. I'm gonna go, assassinate these people, and I don't need anybody. Kind of big girl mentality. I don't know, and it just doesn't work in my opinion.
Do you guys think that that's more of like a Mary Sue kind of?
I don't think it's Mary Sue, because Mary Sue's to me are characters that have abilities or always are kind of like Catherine Hawkeye, the other one. I can't think of her name.
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop to me is a Mary Sue, because not in the comics, I don't know so far in the comics, but in the show she is, because she's able to take down the Kingpin. This little ass girl.
Yeah, but the difference is Haley Stanfield is actually a good actress and she's hot. So
she is, but it's still at the same time she's a Mary Sue for that show. Like she knows everything. She's able to train well and stuff. There's no hardship she goes through. At least to me, it doesn't look like it. And then she's able to Kingpin's like 6'5", 200 something plus pounds, and this little girl's able to beat him. No,
Nadia, are you trying? Are you trying to tell us that women are not more powerful than the patriarchy and men in general? Are you trying to make us believe
it's
that?
not even the patriarchy, it's just a physical thing. There might be 1 or 2 women in the world that could probably kick a man's ass, but 9 out of 10 times we don't have the physical strength. So that's why I like female characters that are written to feminine strengths to utilize in stories.
Oh my god. Okay, Nadia, it's giving pick me girl right now. Like, oh my god.
I'm not a pick me girl either. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Not even if I'm a former Hollywood liberal, so it's just grew up with that stuff. But
I love the whole pick me girl thing when they say it to people who are like, they're married or like, incelibates for men. And they're like going, oh, you're an incel. It's like, dude, I have kids. Like, I don't have kids. I'm 6'4" though, 250 pounds, not 250 pounds of fat, 250 pounds of muscle. I could literally rock. I could literally
keep talking. Okay, no, I'm listening. I just described.
I could literally rock a car on its side, and they're going to be going, well, this 5'2" girl, she took you down. I'll be like, going, really? If she has a gun, maybe.
Yeah, that's why I always say gun rights are women rights, because
agreed.
It helps kind of even the playing field. To me, it's so. One of the greatest examples I have in the past few years. Have any of you seen Blue-Eyed Samurai? It was on Netflix. It was like a adult animation series.
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but a lot of people were turned off from it because of the whole Mary Sue concept of like, oh, it's a woman samurai. This can't be good. No, there's reasons behind why she is the Blue-Eyed Samurai. She goes through trials and tribulations, and there's actual story behind it and character development instead of just handing it to her. But I know a lot of people were turned off by it because automatically you're going to, in this day and age, we're going to assume that a woman can always,
real fast, 5 seconds. Joan of Arc, she's a real woman in real history. Like, she inspired so much in the French Revolution. That's a woman. She doesn't have to be like this massive badass. She just has to inspire, and she did. A historical figure. Right. And why do I feel like you're sitting behind the scenes? You're like going, yeah, right. I like that.
No. I mean, I didn't know.
Shit, dude, sorry.
I no, I don't want to undercut you. I mean, you say Joan of Arc, but I mean, I think we all forget the very first female action star was, obviously, Hunger Games, Jennifer Lawrence. I mean,
all right. Well.
Well, even Aliens, and we won't go past that point, but you know what I mean. Like, there's a way to write women to show their vulnerability, but also show that they use their assets to overcome things.
Sarah Connor.
And instead of just saying, "Hey, this 5-foot-something little girl is going to be able to beat up a dude." Now, in this game, in this show, to me, Ellie versus Abby. Okay, sure. Abby's got a little bit more military training behind her from what I've seen in the show, a little bit of with the dialogue background. Okay, maybe that pairing off of they eventually fight, because I know what happens in the game. Okay, sure, I can believe it, but I can't believe like Abby versus like a 6'7" tall dude,
No.
200 plus pounds, former military could take, even if they both are trained military. It's just being able to write these characters based off what works for their sex, and I'm just tired of it. And that's why I didn't watch Daredevil
I think it's
Born
going
Again.
away. Yeah, I think it's going away. I think what we're looking at is going to be the final dog days of that unrealistic.
Bring back
feminine-
people being hot in movies and sweating and action scenes and machine
Yeah.
guns and like bring back that era. I think people are sick of it. To me, that's also why Mission Impossible is going to make bank. It might be a shit story, but people want to go to movies that don't have the shit anymore into it.
Yeah.
They can
America,
turn their
F
brain
yeah.
off. Yeah, fuck yeah. Anyway, so this is the other. I said we weren't going to talk 2 hours about this stupid fucking show. Ellie's
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Affirmative response to Gail reveals her suppressed anger and grief. And I know the scene after this where she's walking down the hallway and the light on her face and she's supposed to emote anger, like you're supposed to see the anger come out of her and
I
see
didn't.
it. It just didn't work for me. Her discussion of Joel's wrongdoing, likely his lie about the Fireflies, and her regret for not forgiving him adds complex to her character. I don't know why I write that, but this episode sucks, guys. I'm so sorry to anybody watching this on replay. I know you guys want like an in-depth discussion about this, but there's
I don't
nothing
think they
here.
do.
There's no meat or
I don't think they
potatoes
do.
here.
I don't think there's anybody that's. I mean, I think we can. This is one of those few times when I think we can all just agree that
This is the part where I was fast forwarding because nothing was happening. It's so slow.
You know what's weird is that after the hospital, when Ellie comes home, when Bella Ramsey comes back to the house, that should have been a moment.
Right.
It was easily
Drawn
writable.
out.
It should have been so poetic for it to be sad, and it was mediocre at best. Like she okay, great.
So many things wrong in here, and this is such a blatant ripoff of Black Rain in the scene where she gets that
should have been better. This should have been so much better. It should have been a 20-minute literal thing where she walks into the house and she notices it's different.
Well, I don't know that I want 20 minutes of this Drek, but still, I mean, I get your point. It's just
not this Drek, but like actual writing. And so like it starts with in front of the house. There are flowers.
No, I agree. I mean,
he's like,
it's been explained to me that Ellen Page was the original concept for
Ellie,
Ellie, and at this point, I'd be happy with Elliot Page at this point. Like they could put Elliot Page in this, and I'd be okay with it. Like at this, like give me somebody who can act.
As somebody who's lost a parent suddenly, like just in a horrific way. This doesn't. I don't read that here. I don't see that as an emotion here for her.
No.
Like it doesn't come off that she's grieving her father because at the end of the day, that's what he was to her. That's her
you know
dad.
What this scene looks like? This scene looks like the director was like giving her instructions from off camera and was like, "Okay, now go smell his jacket and give us a look like you miss him." No, Bella, not a look like you want ice cream after. Okay, we will get ice cream after this, but Bella, you need to look sad, pensive. Bella, give us pensive. Can you give us pensive? Can you give us worried? Can you give us okay? That's fine. Let's cut. Let's move on to the next thing. Like she's just.
Lou, is this in the video game at all? This grieving Joel.
Yeah, that's the problem with Ellie's character. Like the previous scene between her and Gail. Like the only part dialogue I do like is Gail's like, "Well, remember New Year's Eve, you're treating Joe like shit," and her exact dialogue is, "But your final moment with someone," and she says, "doesn't define your whole time with them," which is true. But in better hands, she should be grieving the fact that Joel, before he died, well, you treated him like total fucking shit. And everyone's also like Dina, Gail. Everyone's like, "Why were you treating him like total shit for?" It's not explained right now, and that's like, so I guess. This is kind of part of her guilt. It's like I did like this scene in a sense because she's like, yeah, listen, Joel's gone, and you did treat the guy like fucking shit until he died, and even like to the point where he was defending you from being called a dyke. and you're still flipping out. Like, I don't need your fucking help, Joel. Like, why are you treating this guy so terrible? The guy that saved your fucking life. And this is why people didn't like Ellie so much inside the Last of Us 2 game. Because the first game, her and Joel had the father-daughter bond, and they grew on each other. He saved your life, sweetheart, and you're treating the guy like that's why people don't like the second game for. Joel's the bad guy. You hate him for saving your life.
So would you say it's not rebellious like teenager, I hate my dad or I hate my mom kind of behavior?
It doesn't
here?
even feel like that.
It's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
It just comes off that she's just an asshole because she just
And that's I'd say only kind of like defense in a sense for Bella Ramsey. It's like she's portraying Ellie as she was in the game, and that's what everyone hated the second game for. It's like it's the whole like the problem everyone knows with Hayden Christensen in Star Wars Episode 2 and 3. Was he a bad actor, or did George Lucas just give him shitty fucking dialogue? Because not even not even Denzel could have saved some of those goddamn scenes with Anakin and Padme. It's like Hayden's like, George, I'm trying my best here, bro, but you're writing shit dialogue. Ellie in the second game is such a bitch. And Bella's basically Bella's copying how Ellie was in the game. So it's kind of a weird situation. Like, I'm not mad at Bella's acting because she's mimicking how shitty Abby was in the second game. I mean,
well, and this is Neil Druckmann's fault, right?
Yes.
You know, and Neil Druckmann is a giant raging loser who I don't know has probably sucked a few dicks in his life just to get by. And this is somebody who,
I mean, haven't we all? I mean, though, really.
well, you know, I mean,
speak for yourself, I guess.
you know, and is somebody who bought a PlayStation 3 for the original Uncharted
Yeah.
2. This is horrendous. And Neil Druckmann is at the front of this crap, and he was at the front of the crap for the game.
It's
And
interesting to me that sorry to cut you off, but it's interesting to me because didn't this game come out like 10 years ago or something?
No,
Well,
it came
it's
out
even
in
longer than
2020.
that.
It's second
Longer?
one.
Oh,
The
second
first one
yeah.
was 2013. The first
was
one
the
was
second one?
2013.
Yeah,
20.
the second one was like 2020, and it was the massive backlash.
Well, okay, so 5 years he's had to like listen to people tell him,
Right.
listen, this
Well,
is the problem.
Which actually goes
2021.
back to like stuff like George R.R. Martin and the lack of respect for fans.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not just that. Neil Druckmann was actually influenced by massive activists and giant ranging bent. Crap. I just Anita Sarkeesian, who's just nothing but a grifter. She runs around. She's literally what the hell is that gaming crap that went around like literally a year ago. She was literally that in like person form.
Sweet
And
Baby Inc.
Yeah,
Sweet
thank
Baby
you.
Inc. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And she started a stupid dumbass thing where like going bully hunters, like going, if you're being bullied in a game, just let bully hunters know and we'll come into Call of Duty and we'll kill the bully that's bullying you. And we'll say no one deserves to be bullied. That's the dumbass shit that literally
Sunk society.
destroyed this game and destroyed this show. This is why you have Big Abby Pump, not in the show, by the way, because they backed the fuck off because they got the backlash for it, and she looks like literally a dude. And so no, Anita Sarkeesian is literally at the forefront of all of this, and that's why the Last of the two game failed. It sold what, 12 million copies?
Well,
total?
it sold
Total.
half the copies. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was released
Total.
in 2020. That was
Yeah.
the release date for the second game.
But
Yes,
this guy has had
the pandemic.
Yeah,
Yes,
this guy's
Corey.
had
Yeah.
5
Abby
years.
Steiner.
This guy's had 5 years, and he's absorbed all of this criticism and critiques, and he's like he doubles down on it, and then just does like,
Well,
no, we're gonna keep that in there. It's totally fine. This is gonna work. You're gonna like it, and
I mean, people
and
are
you're
still watching it though. People are still
Well-
watching. I mean, we watch it because we
Well-
review it. People watch it to review it. I mean, the normies are gonna, and I hate using that word, but normies eat this kind of stuff up. I mean, because look at TV nowadays. There's not much
I don't think
TV
they're
out
gonna
there
eat-
for.
I
I
don't think they're gonna. Eat
there's
this
a
up.
little thing called a sunk cost fallacy, and that's why I'm not doing
Yeah.
from.
I have a
season 4
question,
with you.
and the reason is who played the second game, literally.
But,
I think only blue.
So who knows that moment that moment when Abby is, over the table, and you know what I mean?
Mhm.
You think you're gonna get that in the damn show? No, you're
Well,
not gonna
no.
get that in the show because it looks like a dude literally going in dry on Abby, who's
Yikes.
which
Yeah.
is
Okay.
looks like a
All right.
trans.
All right.
Okay, okay.
All right. Let's bring it back. Let's
Imagery.
bring it back. Okay.
Oh wait,
All
I
right.
do have about
That's in the
this thing I
game. I'm just saying.
about this specific scene. Can I harp on this?
Yes,
real-
yes,
real
you
quick.
can.
One little tiny detail that where I was like, what the fuck? Chocolate
Yeah.
chip cookies. This is 20 years into like the end of the world. Where, pray tell, are they getting cocoa to make chocolate?
Yeah. And the funny part, like I'm looking at.
Especially.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Blue. No,
No,
go
I was
ahead,
gonna say,
Blue.
just like I'm looking up this YouTube trailer about put Last of Us gameplay walkthrough for the cutscenes, and yes, between after Joel dies to when these two get onto the horse and go start going, they're hunting for Abby. It's maybe about 2-3 minutes versus here it's an entire 50-minute episode. That's what I'm talking about padding the runtime. Like all these scenes, even just double checking the scene with Joel's his shirts and all this right here and the whole council, all this has never happened in the game, so this is just more padding. This is a whole padded episode. Like it's
I don't
know.
understand how they can still think that you can have filler candy episodes, whatever you want to call them, when you only have 8 episodes in your series.
Seven.
And it's
No.
2 or 7.
Yeah,
and
this
it's
isn't
three- and
this
it's
isn't
3
like
years.
network TV.
Yeah, it's
No.
like, dude, you don't have it like that where you can just pop out these little,
No.
oh God, Jesus.
Zax.
But
this
yeah,
is the-
yeah.
This is the other key moment. So Tommy's hesitation to pursue the revenge immediately contrasts with Ellie's insistence. This bleeds over into the council meeting, which I was not surprised nobody wanted to go. It makes sense. Why, after such
Yeah.
a big tragedy of losing
Yeah.
so many people to the town, would you even send your 16 best?
Why
for
would
a
you send
revenge?
even one? No, yeah, I
Yeah.
get that. Like I get it. And like I said, I've never played the game and I'm all about vengeance and stuff.
Yeah.
But I would just be like, dude, we can't afford to, go out on a revenge. Hey, it's a loss. We just got to take the loss on that one. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I can't even believe that was
Yeah.
even up for discussion. I mean, I did like the bigot Seth getting up there and kind of telling him, hey, if somebody comes after us, we got to go after them. But you ain't got it like that where you can,
Yeah.
it's like they said in The Walking Dead after they had their little pandemic in the prison and then they got attacked, and Daryl's like, we ain't got the numbers no more. It's like, dude, you can't afford to do that. They can't even afford to lose Dina and Bella as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's they can't afford the guns, the ammo, and then and what is that going to ultimately do? Let's assume they did go find them and murk them all. What is that going to do besides bring the W.L.Fs after them again? And then all it's going to do, dude, they would have just written that out. Hell, I would have. Even me, I would have been like, sorry, Joel's a loss. It is what it is. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole town meeting, just there was no impact to it
No.
whatsoever. We also get introduced to the Seraphites. They have a major conflict with W.L.F. So I did watch a really good video on it by Brain Pilot. He did a really great breakdown of what they are and how it could play into the show. They are a religion that's been around, a religious cult that's been around. I believe their prophet died about 10 years ago from this point in the timeline.
Yeah.
And she was one that believed that the cordyceps were a punishment on mankind for advancements in technology and relying on technology. So they should go back to how humans used to be, relying on the land, carrying basically everything on their backs, and then moving from place to place. That's kind of like the tip of the iceberg of this. There's obviously more to it, but this is there will be a faction in this series because they go up against the wolf. I don't know how it plays into Ellie's journey. Do they show up often, Blue, in the game?
Not too much. Like they're there, but it's the biggest issue. I mean, I can't keep saying like game versus show. We're not sure yet what the show will change, but what people hated from the game standpoint is like, okay, Joel's dead. Now you have two main protagonists, Ellie and Abby, because half the game you're playing Abby. Now, will the show do that? I'm not sure. So yeah, like they're there, but the
Oh,
main
I think they
focus-
will.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but yeah, they're there, but not them. But like, yeah, like, and people said, I'm already reading reviews. Like, people were shocked to see these guys. They're only in episode 3. You don't see these characters until like 8 hours into the fucking game.
Wow. And then they also get murked pretty much by Wolf. The scene pretty much follows them, and then they hear somebody behind them. They alluded to that they are hearing wolves, not actual wolf. It's the militant
Yeah.
W.L.F. And they take out everybody, women, children, out for it. Both Ellie and Dina kind of come across the bodies on their journey to Seattle, too. I'm just kind of fast forward a little bit. So, again, very useless scene. We knew they were going to go on this journey anyway. As a viewer, you knew that you were going to get this story anyway. So I don't know why even putting this in here.
I mean, I guess it was that stellar Oscar Emmy winning acting from Bella Ramsey when she's reading her speech. I guess that's why we had to have it.
God,
Well, it would make more sense just have her sneak out in the middle of the night. She knows they weren't going to let her go. She knows it would make more sense for the story. But
if I had wrote this, I would have wrote it as, since she's known, like we've already established she's a little liar and manipulator anyway. I would have wrote it as like she stands up. I love Joel more than anybody else here loved Joel, but we need to think about the installation or the whatever community now. We don't need to be going on any crazy revenge shit. And then like walks out, and then Dina's like, are you serious? And she's like, no, we're gonna do some crazy revenge shit. Like that's how I would have wrote it. So and then her being a little bitch to bigot Seth here, like, dude, he's reaching his hand out to you. Like, dude.
He was like, I would go with you. But I got hit with friendly fire, and she's like, are you sure it was friendly? And it's like, what?
Dude,
are you that much of a massive cunt that you can't?
Yeah.
Like, you're begging for this character to be hated in the show.
Yeah.
Hated. That's not.
She's not very like worthy of empathy.
No, Ellie is an empathetic character because literally her surrogate father died. The person who saved her life, she would be dead without Joel. Now, yes, he did lie to her, whatever. Like,
but they also didn't know if removing whatever part of her brain would have worked in the first place. There was no guarantee to it.
Yeah, there was no guarantee. So
wouldn't it be really something if Druckmann was just playing us like this whole time, and he's gonna turn Abby into the main character and the protagonist, and then
because he's actually a piece of shit.
And then Ellie turns out to be
is an actual piece of shit. I'm not joking, dude.
Ellie turns out to be the villain in the story. Like when that would actually be something.
Well,
Neil Druckmann is the Ryan Johnson of The Last of Us Part 2.
Yikes.
No, I'm not joking, guys.
No. Yeah, you're not.
You're right.
That's a great
he was
analogy.
on Twitter being such a giant Deutsch bag. He sucks.
Well, I want to say one thing just on this particular scene. HBO, look at me directly. Learn to fucking light your nights, my guy.
Yeah.
Like, this is ridiculous. I go through this every HBO show I cover. I covered House of the Dragon. You don't know how to light your nights. I covered The Penguin. You don't know how to light your nights. Learn how to fucking light your nights. It's the basics you learn in school.
Game of Thrones, the Battle of Winterfell. Yeah. Facts.
No, it's not even House of Dragon season 2. Anyway, Penguin was the worst, but this is like, I'm looking at this on my screen, and then I'm looking at it in StreamYard, and then I watched it, and I was like, what is going on? I can barely see anything out of this.
Thank God Dora has her little colorful gay pride jacket
it's
on.
Supposed to be nighttime. I understand. Is one of the basics you learn in film school is how to light your nights. Light your nights. All right, moving on. So they stop, and this is I wanted to ask Blue you this question. Is this shot in the video game? Her going to the grave site?
It's like, her going to the grave, not like this though. Yeah, this is a more long drawn out version of it. I mean, she does visit his grave before she heads out, but not like a different setting, because he's buried like Tommy tells me, he's like, hey, we buried all of our dead like 10 miles out.
Yeah.
So she does visit his grave, but his grave is a lot different inside the game.
Because this feels like a video game in this scene. This feels like there's certain wide shots to me that look like this, that look like it could be from the game, like they were doing shot for shot. That's where I was very curious to see.
Yeah. No, and as I said, like looking at the show, I mean, these shots do look expensive. I mean, I hand that to them.
They don't know how to
I want to
fucking
say
make a
this
mess.
from the video game to the show. The season 2 is downgraded from shot for shot for the video games. Where season 1 was literally almost spot on. I would give it probably a 95% rating. If I had to say shot for shot game show, 95%.
I don't like to
Season
do the whole military thing with, but dude, Bella Ramsey does not look like she would know how to use that fucking rifle, much less
No.
like carrying it.
Yeah.
She looks like she's carrying dude, there's no effing way.
The rifle is the size of her. And as somebody
Yeah.
who is in the US Army, I know. That
And
rifle is the size of her.
and that thing is not light. Rifles are heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though I
Oh.
like shooting rifles and ARs better than handguns, though.
Yeah,
'cause I
plus
don't
too,
like the
Nadia.
recoil.
The difference is when
Yeah,
she
you do.
visits Joel's grave, there's actually snow on the ground, and she's breathing heavy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
wondering because when I was looking at it, I had to pause. I was like, maybe this is a shot from the video games because it looks
Yeah.
almost
No.
like it could be in a video game from just the lighting, the backlighting of the characters with the sun and stuff.
I can't
but
believe we've
okay.
spent so much time talking about this fucking dipshit episode.
I know we're getting through it. We're getting through it. I guess we discovered that Dina's not bisexual in this too. Look, we're done. We discovered that Dina's also bisexual in this too. I guess, or she's teasing
Right,
Ellie.
maybe-
I don't
Yeah,
care.
you guys know.
because you have to be some.
Is that what
something
you
on the
is that what
alphabet
you
soup.
took from that? I didn't take that from that. I took it that like the failed kiss and the interruptus and then everything else that happened after that because she was back together with hot Asian dreamboat guy.
By the way, when did
Captain
Asian men
Wyoming.
get so hot, man? Woof. Woof.
I don't
I had
know.
to pause. I was like, okay, I understand. I'll go visit South Korea. I'm on my way.
South
Nadia,
Korea.
dude,
Holy
just
shit.
like,
I really
oh my
hope he
God.
is from South Korea and you didn't just pull that out of your butt.
I did pull it out of my butt. I don't know. Hold on, I'll find out. Go ahead, Blue. I saw you were trying.
No, so I'm just looking over there. The scene, yeah, when they talk about the kiss, it's 47 to 50 minutes. It's a 3-minute scene, and that 3-minute scene felt like it was a fucking half hour.
Oh yeah,
It was a
100%.
nothing burger scene. It didn't need to happen.
And
I
that's
don't know
because
if it
of
was
the
just to
pacing. It's how's it?
establish-
It's only 3 fucking minutes, and I'm like,
Didn't they just witness a massacre?
Korean.
yeah.
Okay, good for you. Good for you. Good for you. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Amazing. The reaction was priceless.
She's like, look, everybody, I'm not a racist like Toxic.
Yeah.
See, I can tell the difference.
I'm telling
in
you,
my
something that
Asians.
happened to Asian men in the last like 5 to 10 years. I wish I was younger. Sorry, Chris.
Delightful.
That's delightful.
Delightful.
I think
But
they
didn't,
discovered the gym.
the 2 girls just witness an entire massacre and then now they're camping and cuddling and telling girl stories and like, dude,
Well,
like, how about you go?
Later,
months.
Corey.
It's been
Hey,
technically, I
buddy.
guess it's been 3 months, so they've since.
No,
Joel
I'm
died.
saying doesn't the little conversation about kissy face, doesn't that happen after they find the
Actually,
Seraphites?
no, it's before.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
sorry. Then what happens is then Dina starts throwing up because she's not used to, which plays into it later.
She
but
pregnant.
Because she's pregnant.
there you go.
Because
Yeah.
She's pregnant with Jesse's kid, right?
with
I
a
think in the
gorgeous
game, I-
with a gorgeous
Yeah.
South Korean baby up inside of her. Am I right,
Yeah,
Nadia?
definitely.
Am I right?
I'm a little jealous. I'm a little
But we do
jealous.
get at the end. Well, they do show that the W.L.F. also. The W.L.F. has a pretty good military fucking
Yeah.
base. I mean, there's a lot of soldiers in that last scene, which I guess I'm not sure how the show's going to play out because this is again stuff not in the game.
I would say for a post-apocalyptic, they do have a good amount of soldiers, but for actual,
Yeah.
that's probably 3 platoons tops, which means somewhere in the neighborhood of I don't know, 60 guys marching
But
through the
60
streets.
versus 2 little girls.
Yeah.
No, I get it, but
Mhm.
like it's one of those things that it's just I don't know. I'm so tired of this show already.
Well, final thoughts, Ryan, on this episode.
I'm tired of this show already. No, seriously, it needs to be better. And there are fingerprints of Neil Druckmann.
You need
all
to
over
do
this.
better, Senator.
I know you need to do better. There are fingerprints of Neil Druckmann all over this still, and they didn't learn anything from the game. It's almost like they're like, we're gonna take this and we're gonna turn it up a notch and we're gonna show it to the masses.
Yeah.
Great. You really want a season 3? Go ahead, do it. You might get a season 3 that was greenlit. Who's gonna watch it? Yes, the viewership on this one went up because everybody loves a car crash. They don't give a shit about the car crash.
I
after.
predict going down, but I'll wait my turn.
Yes.
Also-
Yeah. No. I agree with you, dude. That's what I'm saying. Everybody loves a car crash.
Hmm.
They all watch. They'll go, and then when it's over, it's over.
Also,
Yeah.
do you guys remember too the scene between Gail and Tommy? That entire sequence. Like, what was
Yeah.
the point? She's saying, okay, basically Bella's a liar. I mean, and Ella's a liar, and Tom's like, yeah, she's a lot like Joel. But like, what was the
No.
whole point of that scene?
Mm.
Nothing. It's just to
Yeah.
implement that Ellie's still a liar. That's it. I think it's just to be like, oh, she's a liar, so she's still gonna go. She's still gonna go do stuff.
There's only one person she may have told the truth to. May have.
Mhm.
May have. It was so garbage. Saying, oh,
Paul.
maybe she told the truth to Joel.
Final thoughts, Paul.
So I was talking to someone about this earlier today, and I was I don't have a problem using the term normie. So she was normie, and I was like, well, I didn't play the second game, so I want to be fair and just judge it as a TV show. But if you're not taking the lessons of like really, really bad returns or whatever, returns on investment for the sequel game, like, yo, the gamers hated your game, and now you're doubling down and showing it to the normies. And like, there's not that much difference between normies and gamers. And so you're not taking the lesson, and you're just going to piss even more people off. And you're doing it in such a way that everything's slow. So like, people are going to lose interest. This is like, we're in the TikTok generation now. Like, somebody with ADHD can't sit through an episode like this. Like, it's just,
I
it's
have
too slow.
ADHD and I can barely sit through.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the performance, like Bella Ramsey, just she can't emote, and everything she does is just flat and or not believable. So it's not having Pedro Pascal in this is, I mean, that's the death knell. I don't even know if we're gonna get that third season. Maybe we do, but like, it'll like, nobody's gonna watch it. It'll be like Agatha all along.
Yep.
Toxic. Final thoughts on this episode.
I mean, it's exactly what I feared was going to happen has happened. And you know, if it's going to be the sunk cost fallacy, you know, like that I've got listed down below. I don't know if you want to pull it up real quick, the slide. It's just, I'm not going to, you know, sunk cost fallacy phenomenon whereby a person is reluctant to abandon a strategy or course of action because they have invested heavily in it, even when it is clear the abandonment will be more beneficial. But listen, I don't suffer that. I will totally drop this shit and not watch it again. I won't even watch it just to dunk on it because I have better things to do with my time. There is good IPs out there. There is good content out
He's
there.
right.
I've got books to work on. I've got people to piss off. You know, like, I have things to do. I got a car to fix. Like, I'm not going to sit here and watch this dog shit program if it's going to stay dog shit. I said on the outset, she really better step it up. And I'm not willing to invest more time and energy. I can't even believe they're contemplating a third season with this malarkey. It's really crazy. And I was so disappointed. Like, this was such a slog to get through. I had to pause it 3 times and get up and like walk around because it was like annoying me so bad, and it was putting me to sleep at the same time. And that's not something you want your show to do after one of your main characters is killed. And, I'm not against killing off a main character. I like Game of Thrones for doing that. I think Walking Dead got a little bit too addicted to doing that, but I mean, you can still have a good show and have your protagonist killed off and switch. But if you are going to switch, man, you better have somebody that's ready to pick up the barrels and carry the water up that hill. And Bella Ramsey, she ain't up to it, bro. Like, it's not something that, you know, I'm excited about in this next episode, especially since from the trailer, it looks like it's just going to be a bunch of them running from zombies in a bunch of, like, you know, small areas and stuff like that. And it's like, ooh, you know, and like, they're going to be scared, but, you know, maybe not really, because the spores are going to come out and this and that. And like, look, and listen, if you're going to gear this show towards normies like me, who've never played the game, you got to, some of that stuff you have to spell it out. I don't have somebody sitting next to me watching this going, oh, that's the special tribe of people that are minimalists, or this thing's a clicker, this is a bloater. I don't have people to spell that shit out for me. So, you know, if you want me to get invested in that, and as far as like trying to appeal to the gamer people, you lost the gamer people a long time ago.
Yep.
So I mean, you really gotta, you know, do that. But anyway, I don't like doing this. I don't like shitting on stuff. I really don't. It's not my way. I like to like stuff, but this, I'm not liking this. It's making me mad.
I recommend
question.
to everybody who watches it on Sunday, just watch the Righteous Gemstones afterwards. That's what I did, and that is a way better show.
Is that still on? The Righteous
Season
Gemstones?
series finale next week.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Talks. Quick question.
Yes.
What kind of car?
I'm sorry.
What kind of car?
What kind of car? What kind of car?
You're,
My car?
You're working on?
Yeah, it's a Ford Focus SE. It's nothing
Okay.
special.
Oh, okay. I mean, it could be.
Blue,
Turn the
sorry,
right kind of
Special to me,
Sorry.
but
I'm a car guy.
okay.
Yeah, no, everything Talk said was actually pretty accurate. And, you know, so again, looking at this episode, I'm skimming through episode you guys are talking, also looking at the game footage, but it is like you have all these unnecessary scenes. The scenes with, I mean, looking right there with the Tommy scene, I did like it, but I was padded, you know, compared to the game. When Ellie's waking up screaming, didn't happen in the game. Also, did say the entire was it right here Tommy when Jesse when they're rebuilding, didn't happen in the game. The fucking scene with Dina and Ellie in the tent didn't happen in the game. The entire fucking sequence with he's giving her the new gun. I can't remember the guy's name now. The guy in crutches.
I think it's Seth.
Seth. That didn't happen. The entire sequence inside the town hall, that didn't happen. So you guys right here alone, you've already fucking Gail and Tommy talking with the drinking the beers, watching the baseball game. This is entirely padded episode that adds nothing from the fucking game except Ellie and Dina hopping onto the horse going to Seattle. So if you're padding this much stuff, how much other shit are you going to keep fucking padding for the rest of this goddamn season? That's sad.
Yeah.
And if you're going to pad it, make it interesting. So far, it's not been interesting. I mean,
Yeah, add additional lore, maybe add something that was
Something.
just like a touch in the game that maybe a little bit more depth. I agree with you. I agree. I don't like to shit on things except for the Wolfman 2025. So I was hoping, as somebody who hasn't played the game, either one, that the show would like course correct or at least be good TV to watch, right, and discuss.
Yeah.
And it's not. And I appreciate you guys following through with the next couple of weeks because we got 4 more episodes to go. So
also, real quick, small inconsistencies. Somebody pointed out, like when before Abby goes kill Joe, you shot an unarmed doctor in the head, right? And if you actually watch season 1, the finale, her dad's holding a scalpel to fucking Joe, ready to kill Joe. But my father was unarmed. Bullshit. Also, Gail tells Ellie, she's like, oh well, the last thing Joe said to me was I wronged her, but then I saved her life. I just fucking rewatched episode 1, skimming it. Joe never says to Gail, I wronged her. So it's like, can you guys keep your own goddamn lore consistent?
Yeah,
no,
well,
they don't care. They don't care. The writers don't care about this.
The reason Joel said that he wronged her is because he lied. She asked.
Yeah.
She asked.
It could have been something in a different therapy session that brought up that maybe is not the one that we get to experience in the show. Could have been that easily like kind of fixed.
No, it was the lie. It literally was the lie. I'm going to tell you guys right now. It was the lie. The fact that she said, you know, Joel, is that really how it happened? And you know, Joel's like, yes, he lied, and he kept that lie up for years, and so that's why he felt so guilty, because even a small lie to somebody you love is going to fester for years. And I'm not giving credit to this dumbass show. The show sucks because, quite frankly, again, yes, they cut out a whole lot of stuff. Especially the whole entire golf club scene where literally the golf, you know, Abby beat his brains in with a golf club. She never stabbed him. Never.
I think the stabbing though it makes more sense to be honest than beating in just based off the actress size and it came off a little bit more realistic than having, you know, this little girl beat him in.
No. But we also didn't get the and I'm not trying to be crude. We didn't get
all
right.
Somebody said when Dina goes to see Ellie, right? Ellie only has guns and basically it's all she's grabbing. she traveled with Joel for a good year cross country, and she knows how to survive. Joel was teaching her different skills. You know, Dina's like, hey, where the hell is where's your fucking your medical supplies? Where's your bandages? Where's like food? Where's this? Ellie's smart enough to know that I'm not just gonna grab 5-6 guns and go kill Abby. The characters are so inconsistent. She knows better.
Yep, I agree. All right, well, that's The Last of Us season 2, episode 3. Thank you guys for joining us today. Ryan, what you got going on next?
Look, so tomorrow, I'm gonna be doing a gaming stream, and then of course next Friday I'm gonna be on with Carl Dojima. Yeah, Carl Dojima, and I maybe what the hell's next Friday? And then of course Yeti F soon, really soon on May 7th. Which should be a Thursday. I'll be on his stream, the 8520 podcast. Sorry, I'm tired. And
8750.
8750?
8750.
Thank you.
I believe. You're welcome.
Yeah, a whole lot of stuff. I'm getting back into it, and I'm bouncing all over the place, kind of like a whore. Like Abby and her. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do it again. I'm sorry.
Yikes.
Paul, what do you got going on?
So within it's I guess pretty soon after I watched Thunderbolts, I'm gonna do a review. I know I haven't done like very many videos lately, but Thirsty Thursdays, my live stream is back next Thursday, right before this stream. And I already invited Nadia and Ryan, Blue, Toxic, if you'd like to hop on 2 hours earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
got time.
I can send you. Perfect.
Kyle better be on.
I can be thirsty because I'll just do. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
Seltzers are fine.
Okay. Toxic, what do you got going on next?
Earlier today, Northern English Bastard and I talked about Accountant 2, so that just has premiered on my channel. I guess we're a little late on that. Sorry. I just went and saw Thunderbolts right before this stream. I'm probably going to do some kind of a review on it. I don't know if I'll collab with someone or just do my own thing or whatever. And it'll probably be a spoiler review as far as that goes. And I'm kind of trying to work on getting some short little clips of an audiobook version of my book, just like take specific chapters or scenes from my book with the help of a couple of my fellow YouTubers and kind of act it out like a play, with like a couple of visuals up and then and do that to kind of help promote not only that, but the next 2 books in the series that are coming out this year. So I'll probably do that while I still have some time, because I got my security gig and I'm opening a restaurant next week. So
kind of like a reading. Like a
like reading, like
okay, no, I've seen that.
Yeah, so I've seen AI do it, and I don't really care for the AI, but I'm gonna see if a couple people like Northern English Bastard and maybe even my daughter can get in on it, and we can do some of that because she's trying to break into YouTube as well. So
nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Very cool. Blue, what do you got going on next?
Yeah, it's just kind of over the place because so much stuff happening off screen. It's hard to like focus on. Like I just saw Thunderbolts getting a review out. It's hard. And I just bought like Expedition 33 because everyone's talking about it, and we're trying to support more indie developers, just like studios, because as usual, like Toxic would say, I'm tired of bitching about, hey, Assassin's Creed's terrible. Hey, the new fucking Call of Duty is terrible. And same with Marvel and DC. Stop bitching about Snow White when you got Warfare out there. Even my criticism of Sinners, at least Sinners was a new IP. And same with the gaming industry. It's like, Expedition 33 came out, $50, small indie studio. It's breaking fucking records. Stop. I'm not going to spend the limited time I have on screen just bitching all the fucking time. So go out and buy a smaller developer, and people want to talk about it. So, so like Nadi, we got so much. I know Niet's tomorrow doing Evil Dead, the very first one from 1980, and just I'm kind of all over the place right now.
All good. As for myself, I will be on Niet's tomorrow to talk Evil Dead for the first half, and then we're gonna doing Stranger Things right after episode 9 of season 2. So it is the finale of season 2. So I'm very excited to talk about that. And then we will be taking a break for a week and then coming back on the 16th for season 3. So I will also I'll have my normal Tuesday show where I'll be reviewing Clown in the Cornfield because I'm seeing it earlier this weekend. I also am reading the book, so I should be done with the book tomorrow and then go see the movie. And I will also be seeing the Thunderbolts, and I think the Thunderbolts is a horror movie. So we're going to talk about it on Tuesday. And then we're back in normal schedule. We'll be back here Thursday for Last of Us episode 4, and then No Stranger Things next Friday, and then I'm a little everywhere, but thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you to my panel for joining me for this nothing burger of an episode. Thank you to the chat. You guys are always awesome, as always. And then if you are watching this on replay, please do me a favor. Leave me a comment. You can either tell me to go fuck myself. I don't care. Just leave me a comment. Helps with the algorithm.
Nobody would.
Until next time, everybody, you know what to do. Stay safe.